Christina Vonti Fisher. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how I make gluten-free focaccia bread. Focaccia bread is a must-have in my home, and I have a lot of friends and family who have to eat gluten-free, so I like offering this recipe in addition to the regular one. You can find the regular focaccia bread recipe on my YouTube channel. If you just scroll through, you'll find it, I promise. So all you need is 4 cups of gluten-free flour, a teaspoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, 2 cups of warm water at about 110 degrees, 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, and then a packet of active dry yeast because I like doing it simple. You want to make sure you have an additional bowl on the side with some olive oil in the bottom and kind of go around the edges and just have that ready, because once the dough is made, I like to transfer it to the clean bowl with the olive oil on the bottom. So I'm going to get the yeast in here. Just open that packet up. Then I'm going to add the sugar. Then I'm going to add the salt. You need the sugar or the yeast isn't going to work. Then I'm just going to mix it really quick with my little dough mixer thing here, just to kind of get everything incorporated. The thing about making bread is super important that when you're letting it rise, it needs to be in a warm location. So if it's really cold in your house, like mine is during the winter, I don't like to turn the heater on. I just place it inside the oven when the oven's not on, and I let it sit in there because that's like a warm place. Okay, so I've mixed it dry. Now I'm gonna add my water. It's about 110 degrees. I hope it's still warm. Anyway, so we're just gonna pour that in. So then you're just gonna mix it nice and easy. I like to add in the olive oil. So for focaccia bread, really amazing. Add your olive oil. So good for you. Loaded with monounsaturated fatty acids and polyunsaturated fatty acids, which are great for heart health, especially for women over 50, okay? That includes me. Okay, so now I'm just gonna mix this. Now the thing about using the gluten-free flour, it's gonna seem kind of grainy and sticky and strange. Don't worry about it, just go with it. Just trust the process. I've made this so many times with gluten-free flour, and every time I make it with gluten-free flour, I get nervous, like, oh my goodness, it's not gonna work this time. It feels like rice or something, but it actually works in the end. I remember bringing this to a dinner party recently, and the guests did not think it was gluten-free. They're like, oh, your focaccia bread's great. And I said, oh, it's gluten-free. They were like, what? What are you talking about? So what I like to do before I handle it, just pour a little bit of olive oil on my hands just to make it so I'm not gonna be too sticky. And then I'm gonna transfer it into a new bowl where it's nice and clean with olive oil on the bottom, and then we're gonna let it rise for 2 hours, okay? So here it is. Now we just go into this bowl. It's not gonna be as smooth as regular gluten flour. Just go with it, trust it, okay? Okay, so the dough has been made. Now it needs to rise for about 2 hours. I also recommend, if you want it to taste really strong and focaccia-ish, let it rise for 24 hours, that's fine. The longer you let your bread rise, the more flavor you're gonna get. I'm gonna let this rise for 2 hours because I'm gonna eat it tonight. My ovens are not on, they're off, and I'm going to put a tea towel over this and put it in my oven with the oven off. If you don't feel comfortable putting it in your oven while your oven is turned off, then just set it in a place in your house that's kind of warm, like on a counter where it's warm, okay? The gluten-free focaccia bread dough has been rising for 2 hours now, so I had it in my oven. The oven was off, but we're gonna take it out. Oh yes, it definitely grew. That is amazing. Remember, this is gluten-free. It's not going to be like your normal dough. It's not, that would normally be even bigger, but this is gluten-free and it's gonna feel like grainy, but that's okay. What you wanna do now, next step, is just take a really good olive oil and put it in a pan. I'm using a sheet pan because I want my focaccia to be a little bit thinner. That's the thing about this focaccia bread. I love it. It's so much olive oil, and olive oil is good for you. It's a monounsaturated fatty acid, which is great because it helps lower bad cholesterol. All right, here we go. So here's the gluten-free dough. Oh, it's so happy. It's a cute little baby. Okay, oh my gosh, beautiful. Just gonna spread it out, and then you're gonna leave it in the pan for another 30 minutes, and it's gonna do a second rise. And then we will be ready to either decorate it with some beautiful focaccia bread art or put our rosemary. I haven't decided yet, but it's gonna be exciting. Okay, so I'm just gonna set it aside. 30 minutes, we'll be back. Okay, it has been rising for 30 minutes. Let's see how it's doing. Oh yeah. So again, I'm gonna take some olive oil and just put it on my hands, just a little bit. So focaccia obviously is known for the little holes. We're gonna put some holes in here, and then I'm gonna sneak a little bit more olive oil in there, don't tell anybody. And then we're gonna put some rosemary and some beautiful sea salt and pop it in the oven, okay? Here we go. Okay, so we're just gonna poke with our fingers, get in there. It's gonna feel different because it's gluten-free, but just go with it. Trust me, it'll work, it'll work. Okay, so focaccia bread is ready. It's got the holes. I'm just going to cut up a little bit of rosemary. You don't have to do it like this. I'm just doing this because I'm going to put quite a bit on there. I'm doing the basic, just a little bit of rosemary, sea salt, and olive oil because we're going to eat this with our Tuscan minestrone soup, which by the way is on this YouTube channel. You need to check that recipe out, so good. So here's the rosemary. Oh, I feel like I'm in Italy right now. Okay, Italy, watch out, I'm coming for you. I'm just going to sprinkle on here just a little bit. Look at all of that rosemary goodness. You gotta make this as an appetizer for the next party that you go to. Bring it, don't tell people it's gluten-free and see what they say. Then a little bit of Maldon sea salt. So I like this sea salt. It's big and flaky. Oh, so gorgeous. So it's gonna go in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes at 400 degrees. I'm gonna put it in there now. Look at this. That looks gorgeous. If you're looking for a healthy gluten-free bread recipe, you came to the right place. You must check out my gluten-free focaccia bread with a little bit of sea salt, honey. Oh yeah, and we put some rosemary on it as well. So good, so delicious, and so gluten-free. And Luigi came in and so did Luca. Guys, it's hot, don't jump up. I love you. You always come up when it's something white. Why not when I have carrots? Even the puppies love it. Fresh out of the oven, gluten-free focaccia bread. You want to check this out.